I installed security cameras in my home to catch a thief. Instead, I caught my wife Sarah betraying me with her boss. I was ready to destroy her life, had the evidence printed and bound, revenge planned down to the minute. But then I re-watched the footage, really watched it, and I realized something that changed everything. My wife wasn't having an affair. She was being hunted, and the monster wasn't her. It was him. This story spans 11 months, gets darker than you'd expect, but ends somewhere I never saw coming. Buckle up. Per the rules, names are changed. I'm Dave Mitchell, 34. My wife, Sarah Mitchell, 32. We'd been married 6 years, had a 5-year-old daughter, Emma. Built what I thought was an honest life together in our suburban home outside Seattle. I worked middle management at a tech firm. Sarah was climbing the ladder in marketing at Morrison Marketing Group. We were happy, or so I believed. Sarah was my college sweetheart. We met at a mutual friends party in 2015, married in 2019, brought Emma into the world in 2020, 6 years of marriage. We'd survived her father's death together, bought our first house together, renovated it ourselves, spent weekends painting rooms and arguing over tile colors while Emma napped in her pack and play. She was my partner, my best friend, the person who knew me better than anyone. Was. The life we built. I'm the kind of guy who fixes things. Leaky faucet? YouTube it. Car making weird noise. I'm under the hood before calling a mechanic. Emma's toy breaks? Daddy's got it. I've always believed in doing things right. Show up early, work hard, be honest, treat people with respect. I coached Emma's little league team on weekends, played rec basketball on Thursdays with guys from work. I was the friend who helped you move, the dad who showed up to every school play, the husband who brought flowers home just because. I thought I was paying attention, thought I was present, thought I knew my wife. Guess I missed something. The cracks begin January 2024. Sarah got a new boss. Richard Campbell, VP of Marketing, transferred from the New York office. Mid-40s, divorced, that corporate polished look, expensive suits, confident handshake, the kind of guy who says synergy unironically. Sarah came home that first week talking about him. He's intense, she said, chopping vegetables for dinner while I helped Emma with a puzzle. Wants to restructure the whole department. Everyone's on edge. I looked up from the puzzle piece I was holding. Should you be worried about your job? No, actually, he pulled me aside after the team meeting, said I'm one of the strongest on his team, wants me on his special projects. I felt proud, my wife getting recognized. That's great, babe. You deserve it. She smiled, kissed my forehead. Thanks. It's going to mean some longer hours, though. These projects are high visibility. We'll manage. Emma and I will hold down the fort. If I could go back to that moment, I'd tell myself to pay closer attention to that smile. It didn't reach her eyes. By February, Sarah was bringing work home more, staying late more. Her laptop became a permanent fixture on our dining table. Another late night? I asked one Tuesday when she texted she wouldn't be home until 9. Richard wants the campaign deck done by tomorrow. I'm sorry. It's okay. Emma and I will save you some dinner. By late February, something shifted. Small things, tiny things, the kind of things you don't notice until you look back and realize they were screaming at you. Her phone got a password I didn't know. We'd always had open phone policies, not because we didn't trust each other, but because it never mattered. Need to check something on my phone while I'm driving? Use mine. Can't find yours? Here, use mine. Since when do you have a password? I asked one morning when I went to check the weather on her phone because mine was charging upstairs. She looked up from her coffee, startled. Oh, it requires it now. Security thing. Client data protection. Made sense. I didn't push it. March. The late nights increased. 3 times a week became 4, became 5. She'd come home at 9, 10, sometimes 11, exhausted, distant. When I'd try to talk about her day, she'd snap. I don't want to talk about work, Dave. Then she'd pour a glass of wine and zone out on her phone. Texting someone, always texting someone. "Who are you talking to?" I asked once, trying to keep my voice light. "Just work stuff. Amanda and I are coordinating on the project." Amanda was her colleague, her friend. That made sense too. April, our physical relationship changed. Sarah stopped initiating. When I tried, she'd say she was tired. "The project is killing me, babe. I'm sorry. Soon, okay?" Once a week became once every 2 weeks became once a month. In bed, she'd face away from me. No more cuddling, no more late night talks about our dreams and fears and Emma's future. The distance between us grew from inches to miles. By early May, she was a ghost, coming home, eating alone in the kitchen, going straight to bed. No interest in Emma's day. Emma, our daughter, who used to be the center of Sarah's world, barely acknowledged me. Emma noticed. "Where's Mommy?" she asked one night after I'd read her 3 bedtime stories. "Working late, sweetheart. She'll see you in the morning." She's always working late now. "I know. Mommy has a big project, but she loves you very much." Emma looked at me with those big 5-year-old eyes that see more than you think they do. "Does Mommy love you?" My heart stopped. "Of course she does. Why would you ask that?" "Because you look sad when she comes home." Jesus Christ, even our kindergartner could see it. That's when I knew something was wrong. Really wrong. It was a Tuesday night in early May. Sarah came home at 10:15. I'd been putting Emma to bed alone for the 3rd night in a row. "Where's Mommy?" she'd asked again. I'd given the same excuse. Work. Always work. Sarah walked in through the garage door, didn't even look at me, poured wine, sat on the couch scrolling her phone, smiling at something, actually smiling. The first real smile I'd seen in weeks. I sat down next to her. "Hey, I miss you." She looked startled, like she forgot I existed. "What?" "I miss you. I feel like we haven't really talked in weeks, like you're somewhere else." Her guard went up. I could see it happen, shoulders tensed, face closed off. "I'm just stressed, Dave. This project, is it just the project?" Her eyes narrowed. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. I feel like you're pulling away from me, from us, from Emma." "I'm not pulling away. I'm working." "Jesus, Dave, not everything is about you." She stood up, grabbed her wine. "I'm going to bed." I sat there on that couch, the couch we'd picked out together at IKEA, spent 4 hours assembling, laughed about the extra screws we couldn't figure out where they went, and I felt something in my chest crack. That's when it hit me. She wasn't stressed about work. She was hiding something. My stomach dropped. My hands went cold. I knew what this was. I'd heard enough stories from friends, read enough Reddit threads during bathroom breaks at work. My wife was cheating on me. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I was going to find out the truth. The investigation. I did what any desperate, suspicious husband would do. I Googled it. How to catch a cheating spouse. Signs your wife is having an affair. Evidence for divorce court. I went down a rabbit hole that consumed my entire lunch break. Reddit threads on are watching surviving infidelity, where men like me shared their stories. YouTube videos with titles like "The 10 Signs She's Cheating You Missed." Articles about phone spy apps, GPS tracking, recovering deleted texts. I learned the terminology. AP, affair partner. D-Day, discovery day. The 180, emotional withdrawal to make them come after you. Trickle truth, when they admit things slowly instead of all at once. Gaslighting, making you think you're crazy for noticing. I felt pathetic, sitting in my car in the work parking lot, eating a sandwich I couldn't taste, learning how to be a detective in my own marriage, but I also felt prepared. I felt like I was preparing for war. That night, I started with social media. After Sarah went to bed, without kissing me goodnight like always now, I grabbed my laptop and started scrolling. Facebook first. I went back 6 months on Sarah's profile. Every post, every comment, every tagged photo. There was a pattern. A guy's name kept appearing in comments. A lot. Richard Campbell. Under her promotion announcement from March, "Well deserved. Excited to work with amazing talent like you." Under a work event photo from April, great presentation today. This team is lucky to have you. Under a random meme, she posted, "This is so you. Who the fuck comments on their employees' meme posts?" I clicked on Richard Campbell's profile, mid-40s, like Sarah said, divorced according to his relationship status. No kids visible in his photos, lots of executive-type content, conference pictures, corporate humble brags, leadership quotes. Then I found it. A photo from Morrison Marketing's company retreat in March. Group shot of about 20 people. Sarah was in it, standing next to Richard Campbell, his hand on her shoulder, both smiling. Too close, too familiar. I zoomed in. Her body language, she was tilted toward him. Not away, like you'd stand with a boss you barely knew. Toward, like she was comfortable there. I kept scrolling through his photos. Group dinner from April, corporate team thing, probably. He was sitting next to Sarah, leaning in close to say something, his arm behind her chair on the booth. Nobody else in that photo was sitting that close to their coworkers. I tried to add him as a friend, just to see his full profile, get access to more photos. Unable to add friend. I was blocked. Richard Campbell had blocked me. Sarah's husband, the guy he'd never met, never interacted with online. Why would you block someone you didn't know unless you had a reason to hide? My heart was racing now. I grabbed my phone, opened our Verizon account. I'm the account holder, have access to everything. Pulled up 3 months of call and text records. Holy shit. Starting in late January, there was a number I didn't recognize. Initially, 3 calls a week, short ones, 8-10 minutes. Could be work-related. By March, daily calls, some lasting 30-35 minutes, one lasting 52 minutes on a Tuesday night. I checked my calendar. That was the night Sarah said she was working late. I'd been home with Emma, giving her a bath, reading bedtime stories. By May, constant contact, texts at 6 in the morning, calls at 11 at night, messages at 2 in the morning. I ran the number through a reverse lookup service. Richard Campbell, age 45, VP of Marketing at Morrison Marketing Group, lives at Riverside Apartments, 12 miles from our house. Bingo. But the call logs only showed timestamps and duration, not content. I needed to see what they were saying to each other. That's when I remembered. We have Find My iPhone enabled. I'd set it up years ago for safety so we could find each other in emergencies. I opened the app on my phone. Sarah's location, Morrison Marketing Group office. Made sense. It was 2 a.m. and I was spiraling in my home office. But her phone's last recorded location was at work. She must have left it there before coming home. Then I checked history, 2 weeks ago, Friday night. Sarah said she was at dinner with Amanda and some other work friends. Her phone was at Riverside Apartments, Richard's building, from 7 p.m. to midnight, 5 hours. I checked another date. Early April. Sarah said she had an overnight work retreat in Portland. Her phone never left Seattle. It was at the Riverside Marriott, not where the retreat was supposed to be. I pulled up our joint credit card statement. There it was. Marriott charge. 203's April 22nd. I paid for her hotel room with her affair partner. My hands were shaking. I had to set my phone down. I needed more. I needed to see the messages. Needed to know what they were saying to each other. My buddy Jake had mentioned once, over beers, that when he suspected his ex of cheating, he'd used some kind of recovery software. Said something about iCloud backups. I waited until Sarah was asleep. Went downstairs. Found her work laptop in her bag. She always forgot to take it upstairs. Opened it. She'd left herself logged into her personal iCloud account. I grabbed my old iPad from the drawer. The one I used to use before I upgraded. Still had it for Emma's games. I reset it, signed in using Sarah's iCloud credentials. The ones I knew because I'd set up her phone years ago and she'd never changed them. Started syncing photos, contacts, messages. It took 2 days for everything to download. 2 days where I went through the motions at work, came home, played with Emma, made small talk with Sarah, all while waiting. On the third day, I opened the Messages app, and there it was. Everything. D-Day, May 18th, 2024. 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Emma had woken up with nightmares, monsters under the bed, the usual 5-year-old fears. After I got her settled, gave her water, told her daddy would protect her from anything, I lay in bed next to Sarah, listened to her breathe, and opened the synced messages on my iPad, new texts from that afternoon. While I'd been in a budget meeting, Sarah and Richard had been texting. My stomach churned as I read, Sarah, I can't keep doing this. I feel sick every time I lie to him. My heart stopped. There it was. Confirmation. Richard, you're not lying. You're protecting him from unnecessary pain. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. What I don't know won't hurt me. Fuck you, Richard. Sarah, that's not how this works. I want to tell him. Richard, and say what? That you kissed your boss? That you've been spending time with me? You'll destroy your marriage over nothing. Kissed. They kissed. They fucking kissed. Sarah, it's not nothing. Dave deserves to know the truth. At least she said that. At least somewhere in her was the woman I married who knew right from wrong. Richard, Sarah, sweetheart, think about what you're risking. Your career, your reputation, Emma's stability. Is that really worth some misplaced guilt? Sweetheart, he called her sweetheart. And he's using my daughter, using Emma as leverage to keep Sarah quiet. I kept reading, scrolled up to earlier messages. Richard, April 30th. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. Last night, April 30th. I checked my phone's calendar. That was the night Sarah said she had a work dinner that ran late. She came home at midnight. I was already asleep. Sarah, Richard, we can't do this again. I'm married. Richard, you're married to someone who doesn't appreciate you. I see you, Sarah, the classic line. I see you. Every affair partner in history has used that one. Sarah, don't, please. Richard, you know I'm right. When's the last time Dave made you feel the way I made you feel last night? I dropped the iPad. It clattered on the hardwood floor. Sarah stirred but didn't wake. I sat there on the edge of our bed. The bed we'd bought together when we moved into this house. The bed where we'd made love 1,000 times. The bed where we'd held each other after her father died. And I couldn't breathe. My chest felt tight, like someone was standing on it. I tried to get air but could only manage these short, shallow gasps. I read it again and again. Last night was incredible. She slept with him. My wife slept with her boss. My phone started buzzing on my nightstand, probably just work email. I ignored it. I walked to the bathroom, turned on the faucet, splashed cold water on my face, looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like shit. Pale, eyes bloodshot, like I'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. What the fuck is happening? I whispered to my reflection. I slid down the wall, sat on the bathroom tile floor. It was cold. I could feel it through my thin pajama pants. This wasn't supposed to be my life. This was supposed to be the boring, comfortable, growing old together life. We were supposed to watch Emma graduate, have grandkids someday, retire to a little house somewhere quiet. We weren't supposed to be this. I think I'm going to throw up. The devastation. For 5 days I was a ghost. Couldn't eat. Breakfast tasted like cardboard. Lunch I'd buy and throw away. Dinner I'd push around my plate while Emma chattered about her day and Sarah asked if I was feeling okay. Just a stomach bug, I'd say. The irony. Work was a blur. I'd sit in meetings and have no idea what anyone said. Nearly rear-ended someone at a red light because I was staring into space, seeing that text over and over. Last night was incredible. I'd look at Sarah making breakfast for Emma, pouring cereal, cutting up strawberries, wiping Emma's face with a napkin, and see a stranger, this woman who I'd given 9 years to, dating plus marriage, who was supposed to be my partner, my safe place, my home, Who was this person? Sarah knew something was wrong. She kept asking, "Are you okay? You seem off. Did something happen at work? Dave, talk to me. You're scaring me." The fucking audacity. You're scaring me? I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just nodded, made excuses. Busy at work. Didn't sleep well. Think I'm coming down with something. I cried in my car during lunch breaks, parked in the back of the lot where no one could see. Just sat there with a sandwich I couldn't eat, tears running down my face, trying to understand how my life fell apart without me noticing. I'm not ashamed to say it. I fucking cried. At night, I'd lie next to her. Feel the space between us, 6 inches of mattress that felt like the Grand Canyon. She'd be asleep, breathing steady, and I'd be wide awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about her and Richard. Did they do it in her office, in his apartment, in our bed when I was at work? The images wouldn't stop. My brain kept creating movies I didn't want to watch. Day 6, something shifted. I woke up and I wasn't sad anymore. I was fucking livid. Sarah didn't just cheat, she'd been having an affair for months. While I played house husband, while I raised our daughter alone most evenings, while I convinced myself she was just stressed about work. What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Like I was too stupid to notice, too trusting to question, too pathetic to deserve the truth. That text kept playing in my head, Richard's words, that condescending, manipulative bullshit. And Sarah? She'd let him talk about me like that. Probably agreed with him. Poor, boring Dave. Doesn't appreciate her, doesn't see her, fuck that, and fuck them. That's when I decided I wasn't just going to divorce her quietly, sign papers, split assets, co-parent Emma, move on. No, I was going to find out everything, document everything, and then I was going to burn her world down the same way she'd burned mine. I wanted scorched earth. The plan I spent 3 days planning, 3 days where I called in, sick to work, actually sick this time, not fake. 3 days where I told Sarah I needed to rest, needed quiet, needed space. She was worried, brought me soup, checked my temperature, asked if I needed her to stay home. No, you go to work, I'll be fine. After she left, I researched, not just how to catch a cheater anymore, how to expose one, how to make sure everyone knows, how to protect myself legally, how to control the narrative. I found this quote on a Reddit thread, some guy's divorce story that had thousands of upvotes. Affairs thrive in darkness. The only way to kill them is to drag them into the light. That became my mantra. I wasn't just going to tell people. I was going to make sure everyone knew. Their families, their friends, their coworkers, the company HR department, everyone. But I needed perfect timing, irrefutable proof. And I needed to make sure I didn't look like the villain. Because here's the thing I kept coming back to. I wanted to confront Sarah, scream at her, demand answers. But what would that accomplish? She'd lie. They always lie when they're caught. Trickle truth, minimize. It was just a kiss. It didn't mean anything. It's over now. Bullshit. I needed evidence so overwhelming that she couldn't lie, couldn't minimize, couldn't escape. Over those 3 days, a plan formed. Phase 1, gather irrefutable evidence, screenshots of every text, every photo, every call log, credit card statements, location data, build a timeline of the entire affair. Phase 2, investigate Richard Campbell. Who is he? What's his history? Does he have family? Where does he work? What leverage do I have? Phase 3, protect myself legally. Consult divorce attorneys. Understand my rights, file first, control the process. Phase 4, document everything in one place. Create something undeniable, something she can't talk her way out of, something that will destroy any sympathy she tries to garner. Phase 5, choose the moment maximum impact, when she feels safest, when she thinks she's won. Phase 6, execute and disappear. Drop the bomb, then let the fallout happen without me there to soften it. It wasn't just revenge, it was justice. Or at least that's what I told myself, building the case. I started with the digital evidence. Every spare moment I had, early mornings before Sarah woke up, lunch breaks, late nights after everyone went to bed, I worked. I went through 6 months of messages, took screenshots of everything, 218 screenshots total, organized them by category: flirtation, February, March, the beginning, innocent at first. Great job today. You're so talented, then escalating. You look beautiful in that dress. I can't stop thinking about our conversation. Crossing the line, late March. The first admission, Sarah telling Richard she felt something, Richard encouraging it. I feel it too. Planning to meet outside work, coffee, then lunch, then dinner. The affair begins. April. The first kiss. Sarah's guilt. We can't do this. Richard's manipulation. You deserve to be happy. Then the first hotel. The texts afterward. I've never felt this way. You're incredible. Ongoing deception. May. Planning meetups. Covering for each other. Tell Dave you're working late. I'll tell my assistant I have a client dinner. Using my daughter. We have to be careful. Think about Emma. Like they gave a shit about Emma. I backed everything up to a Google Drive account Sarah didn't know about. Created it with a new email address, password she'd never guess. Then backed that up to an external hard drive I kept in my car. Paranoid? Maybe. But I wasn't losing this evidence. Next, financial records. I pulled every statement from our joint credit card going back to January, went through line by line, highlighted anything suspicious. Russo's Italian restaurant, $156, April 16th. Sarah said she had a client dinner that night. I checked Richard's Instagram. He'd posted a story from a Russo's that same night. Great food, better company, with a wine glass emoji. Riverside Marriott, $233, April 22nd, the hotel charge. She said she was at a corporate retreat. The retreat was at a different hotel. I had the invitation. Morrison Marketing had sent spouses an info packet. She lied. Flowers delivered to Morrison Marketing, $85. May 2nd, from RC, according to the itemized receipt, Richard Campbell. She told me they were from a client thanking her for a successful campaign. I'd even complimented her. Your client has good taste. Jesus Christ, I was such a fool. Victoria's Secret 243's March 15th lingerie, 3 items. I'd never seen her wear any of it. I checked our bedroom, her drawer, the closet, the laundry basket. Nothing. She bought lingerie for him with my money. I added up the total. $2,387 in charges directly related to the affair. $2,387 of our money. Money we were supposed to be saving for Emma's college fund, for a new roof, for our future. She spent it on her affair partner. I documented everything in a spreadsheet. Date, amount, merchant, location, cross-referenced with the text messages, with her calendar, with Richard's social media, built a timeline. 6 months of lies. Every working late, every client meeting, every girls' night with Amanda. All lies. Investigating Richard Campbell. I needed to know who this man was. The man who'd been fucking my wife. The man who'd worked with her to deceive me for months. I started with the basics. Richard Campbell, age 45, divorced 3 years ago according to public records. Found the divorce filing online. Washington is a public record state. His ex-wife, Linda Campbell, now Linda Thornton, reverted to her maiden name. No kids. Never had any according to social media. Lives at Riverside Luxury Apartments, Unit 203. I'd driven past it once just to see. Fancy building. Doorman, parking garage, rent probably $2,800 a month. Drives a Mercedes C-Class, silver, vanity plate, MKTG VP, marketing VP, subtle. Makes approximately $185,000 base salary as VP plus bonuses. I found this from a salary transparency lawsuit Morrison Marketing had settled last year. Public court documents are a gold mine. LinkedIn showed the polished professional. Harvard MBA, 20 years in marketing, climbed the corporate ladder, posts about leadership, shares articles about workplace culture. Total bullshit. Instagram was more interesting. Personal account, not professional, pictures from expensive restaurants, weekend trips to Napa Valley, to the San Juans, to Victoria, BC, always alone or with the team. But recent posts since March started featuring Morrison marketing people more often, and Sarah appeared in 3 of them. March 28th, team photo at a happy hour. Sarah's in the back, laughing at something off camera. Richard's caption, best team a VP could ask for. April 14th, group shot at a marketing conference. Sarah and Richard standing next to each other. His hand isn't visible, but the angle suggests it's on her back. Caption, Seattle's finest marketing minds. May 6th, strategy dinner with the A-team. Photo of a table, Sarah's wine glass visible. Her bracelet, the one I bought her for our anniversary, in frame. Caption written like it's all business, but I could read between the lines now. The comments from her on his posts, heart emojis. Such a great night. This team, I screenshot everything. Then I found something interesting. His ex-wife's Facebook. Linda Thornton had a recent post. 1 month ago, a long emotional essay about finally speaking my truth. She'd shared an article about workplace affairs, about power dynamics, about how women in corporate environments are often groomed and manipulated by supervisors. In the comments, someone asked, "Is this what happened to you?" Linda's response, "Yes, it's why I'm divorced. He did this before. I forgave him. He promised it wouldn't happen again. Then it did. I'm sharing this so other women know the signs." Holy shit. Richard Campbell was a serial cheater. This wasn't his first affair with a subordinate. I screenshot this too. Then I looked up Morrison Marketing's employee handbook. Their website had a PDF public-facing for potential hires. Section 4.7, Relationships between supervisors and direct reports. Romantic or sexual relationships between supervisors and their direct reports are strictly prohibited without formal disclosure to human resources and reassignment of reporting structure. Failure to disclose such relationships may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. Section 6.3, Ethical use of company resources. Company credit cards, vehicles, and expense accounts are to be used solely for legitimate business purposes. Personal use of company resources is grounds for immediate termination and potential legal action. I cross-referenced with the credit card statements. That dinner at Russo's? Sarah had mentioned it was expensed. Client dinner? That meant Richard probably expensed it too. Company money for their date. Section 8.1, Time theft and false reporting. Employees must accurately report their work hours and location. Claiming to be working when engaged in personal activities constitutes fraud and may result in termination and prosecution. The hotel room, the overnight retreat that never happened. Both of them had probably logged those hours as work time, put it on their timesheets, got paid for fucking each other. That's fraud. That's fireable. That's everything I needed. I started drafting a letter to Morrison Marketing's HR department, not to send yet, but to have ready. This wasn't just about Sarah anymore. Richard Campbell was going down with her. Acting normal. From late May through mid-July, I became an actor. Oscar-worthy performance. Every morning, I'd kiss Sarah goodbye. "Have a good day at work, babe." Every evening, I'd ask about her day. "How was the campaign presentation?" I'd cook dinner. Help Emma with her homework. She was learning to read. So proud of sounding out words. CAT, cat. Daddy, I did it. That's amazing, sweetheart. You're so smart. Sarah would come home late. I'd have a plate waiting. Saved you some chicken. It's in the microwave. Thanks. She'd barely look at me. We even had sex twice during this period. I initiated both times. Because that's what normal looks like. A husband who doesn't suspect anything would try to reconnect, would try to fix the distance. It made me physically sick afterward, knowing where she'd been, who she'd been with. But I couldn't let her know I knew. Not yet. I watched her text Richard right in front of me. She'd smile at her phone while I loaded the dishwasher. What's funny? Oh, just a meme Amanda sent me. I'd laugh. Nice. I love Amanda. Internally, I was keeping score. Another lie. Add it to the list. Some nights Sarah would come home late, 9, 10 o'clock. I'd have dinner waiting. How was the client presentation? She'd lie, elaborate on fake meetings. Oh, it went great. They loved the creative direction. We're definitely winning this account. I'd nod, ask follow-up questions. That's amazing. When do you find out for sure? More lies. I'd file them away. Here's what she didn't know. I had consulted 3 divorce attorneys, picked the best one, Linda Martinez, who specialized in high-conflict divorces and had a reputation for destroying cheating spouses in court. I had opened a separate bank account, started diverting my direct deposit there slowly, $300 the first paycheck, $500 the next. Building a reserve she didn't know about, I had transferred our joint savings, $15,000. Perfectly legal since it was a joint account. Moved it to my new account. If she checked, she didn't. I'd say I was moving it to a higher interest account. Had a fake statement ready to show her. I had documented Emma's primary care. For the last 6 months, I'd been doing 90% of parenting, drop-offs, pickups, homework, bedtime, doctor appointments. I had it all documented. Texts to Sarah. Taking Emma to her checkup. Emma has a play date at 4. I'll handle dinner and bedtime. You focus on work. Building proof that I was the primary parent. I had consulted with Emma's school. Casual conversation with her teacher at pickup. Hey, if there were going to be some changes at home, what's the best way to help Emma through it? The teacher gave me resources, documented the conversation, showed I was proactive about Emma's well-being. I had copies of everything, our mortgage, Emma's medical records, my pay stubs, Sarah's pay stubs, tax returns, all stored securely. I was 15 steps ahead at all times. But to Sarah, I was just her oblivious husband, going to work, coming home, being dad, playing house. Jake asked me once during this time over beers at his place, "Dude, how are you doing this? If it were me, I'd have lost it by now." You remember that quote I told you about? The darkness one. Yeah. Affairs thrive in darkness. The only way to kill them is to drag them into the light. I'm going to expose her, Jake, but I need everything perfect first. I get one shot at this. When? Our anniversary, July 23rd. 7 years married. That's cold, man. Good. She deserves cold. I had a present for her. The binder by late June, I started compiling everything into one document. Not just digital, physical. Something she'd have to hold. Something she couldn't just delete or minimize. I bought a 3-inch black leather binder, printed everything, 340 pages. Section 1, Timeline, pages 125. Comprehensive timeline of the affair, January through May, every event, every lie, cross-referenced with evidence. February 12th, Sarah claimed she was working late. Phone records show 48-minute call with Richard Campbell at 8:30 p.m. Section 2, Financial Evidence, pages 26 to 85, credit card statements, every suspicious charge highlighted in yellow. Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, gifts itemized with dates, with Sarah's lies next to each one. April 22nd, Marriott Hotel, $203. Sarah claimed she was at corporate retreat in Portland. Retreat was at Hilton, Seattle. Section 3, Digital Communications, pages 86 to 180, text messages printed in chronological order, screenshots formatted to show timestamps, sender, recipient, the flirting, the escalation, the explicit messages. I can't stop thinking about last night. You're incredible. I love you. That last one hit me again when I was printing it. May 15th, Sarah had told Richard she loved him 10 days before I found out. Section 4, location data, pages 2 naritantin GPS history from Find My iPhone. Maps showing where Sarah's phone was versus where she said she was. Color-coded, red for lies, green for truth. Lot more red than green. Section 5, witnesses and third-party evidence, pages 311, 325, social media posts, Richard's Instagram, Sarah's comments, photos from company events, Amanda's confusion when I'd asked about events Sarah claimed to attend with her. Girls' night March 15th? No, that was just me and Kelly. Sarah said she had to work late. Section 6, legal violations, pages 36, 335, Morrison Marketing Employee Handbook. Sections violated, evidence of each violation, company credit card misuse, time theft, undisclosed supervisor-subordinate relationship. Section 7, divorce filing, pages 326, 340, my divorce petition, already filed, already approved by the court, just waiting for service. I put tabs on each section, color-coded, made it easy to flip to the most damaging evidence. On the very first page, I put a title page. The Truth, a comprehensive documentation of infidelity, prepared by David Mitchell for Sarah Mitchell, date July 23rd, 2024. Then a table of contents, professional, like a work presentation, because that's what this was, a presentation of her betrayal. I had 2 copies made, one for Sarah, one for Morrison Marketing's HR department. I wrapped Sarah's copy in silver ribbon, like a gift, because it was a gift of truth. The 180s, July 1st, 2 weeks before our anniversary. I changed, not dramatically, not all at once, just enough that Sarah noticed. Week 1, distance. I stopped initiating affection. When Sarah would kiss me goodbye in the morning, I'd turn my head slightly. She got my cheek instead of my lips. Have a good day, I'd say, flat, no emotion. When she texted during the day, how's your day going? I'd reply hours later, one word, fine. I started going to the gym after work, something I hadn't done in months, coming home at 8 instead of 6. Sarah noticed immediately. You're going to the gym a lot lately. Yeah, need to get healthier. Work's been stressful. Need an outlet. Same lie she'd been using for months. The irony wasn't lost on me. Week 2, cold shoulder. I stopped sleeping close to her. We'd always cuddled. Even during the affair period when she was distant, I'd try. Reach for her hand. Spoon her. Not anymore. I slept on my side. Rolled away when she tried to touch me. Started eating dinner with Emma before Sarah got home. When she'd walk in at 7:30, I'd barely look up from helping Emma with a puzzle. Food's in the fridge. You didn't wait for me? Emma was hungry, didn't know when you'd be home. The irony again. How many nights had I waited, made dinner, kept it warm, sat there until 9, 10 o'clock? Not anymore. The funny thing? Sarah started trying harder. She wore lingerie to bed one night, the stuff I'd never seen, the Victoria's Secret purchases, probably meant for Richard, but desperate times. I pretended to be asleep. She cooked my favorite meal, pot roast with garlic, mashed potatoes, the meal she used to make for Sunday dinners when we were newlyweds. This looks great, I said, but I grabbed food on the way home. Not really hungry. You eat, though. Suggested a date night. Maybe we could go to that Italian place you like? Saturday? I have plans Saturday. What plans? Just plans. I didn't elaborate. Let her sit with that uncertainty. Week 3, the full 180. I'd learned this technique on Reddit. When you suspect your spouse is cheating, you completely flip your behavior. Make them feel what you felt. I started dressing better, new shirts, actually styled my hair, wore the cologne Sarah bought me for Christmas that I'd never opened. She noticed. You look nice? Special occasion? Nope. Started saying I had things to do without elaborating. Thursday night basketball became going out. She'd ask where. Out. With who? Friends. Let my phone buzz on the table, face down. When it did, Jake texting me sports stuff, work emails, nothing important. I'd glance at it, smile slightly, and ignore it. Sarah started glancing at it too, curious, worried. Who keeps texting you? Just work stuff. Her own lie fed back to her, the taste of her own medicine. By July 20th, Sarah was a mess. Paranoid, suspicious, desperate for my attention. She started following me from room to room, trying to start conversations. Are you okay? You seem really distant. I'm fine. No, you're not. Talk to me. Did I do something? If only you knew, I thought, but I said, I'm just tired, Sarah. Work's been a lot. Is there someone else? I almost laughed. The projection. The fucking audacity. What? No. Why would you even ask that? You're being so weird, secretive, going out all the time, on your phone constantly. I'm on my phone for work. I'm going to the gym and seeing friends. I'm not being secretive. I'm just stressed. Are you sure? I looked her in the eye, kept my voice calm. Yes, Sarah, I'm sure. Are you sure there's nothing you want to tell me? She blinked. What? No? Of course not. Liar. God, she was such a fucking liar. By July 22nd, the day before our anniversary, Sarah was completely panicked. She could feel something was wrong, but couldn't figure out what. Our anniversary was 3 days away. That's when her world would end. The setup, July 22nd, the day before our anniversary. Traditionally, we'd spend anniversary eve doing something small, nice dinner at home, maybe watch the movie from our first date. Early night in, wake up to celebrate the actual day. This year, I told Sarah I had to work late, emergency project deadline. On the night before our anniversary, I was loading the dishwasher, didn't look at her. Can't be helped, but I'll be home by 10. We can celebrate properly tomorrow. She was disappointed. I could hear it in her voice. Okay, I understand. She didn't understand anything. What Sarah didn't know, I had filed for divorce 2 weeks ago. Papers signed, dated, filed with King County Superior Court. My attorney, Linda, had them ready. Process server was scheduled for tomorrow, 9 a.m. Emma knew. Not everything, but enough. I'd taken her to my parents' house yesterday. Sat her down in their living room with my mom and dad there for support. Sweetheart, Daddy needs to talk to you about something important. Okay, Daddy. Mommy and Daddy are having some grown-up problems. Sometimes adults make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes mean they can't be married anymore. Her little face crumpled. Are you getting divorced? The word sounded too big coming from a 5-year-old. Yes, baby, we are. Is it my fault? My heart shattered. No, Emma, no. This is absolutely not your fault. This is between Mommy and Daddy. You did nothing wrong. Nothing. We both love you so much. But you won't live together. No, but you'll have 2 homes, and Daddy's going to make sure you're safe and happy in both of them. She cried. I held her. My mom cried too. My dad put his hand on my shoulder. It was the hardest conversation of my life. Emma was staying with my parents starting that evening. Sarah thought it was a sleepover so we could have alone time for our anniversary. I'd suggested it. She'd agreed immediately. That's sweet. We could use some time, just us. Right. Just us and the truth. I had scheduled movers for July 24th to pack Sarah's belongings. Everything I designated as hers, clothes, jewelry, personal items. Her office would be boxed up, ready for her to pick up. The locks would be changed at noon on July 23rd. New keys already cut. Lock company scheduled. The binder was in my car trunk. 340 pages, wrapped, ready. That evening, I came home at 10:15, 15 minutes late. Let her worry a bit. Sarah had cooked dinner, pasta carbonara, my favorite, lit candles on the dining table, put on jazz music, wore a nice dress, the blue one I'd always liked, playing wife, playing house, playing like we weren't over. You cooked, I said. It's almost our anniversary. I wanted to do something nice. I sat down, ate, made small talk about work, thanked her for cooking, even complimented the pasta. "This is really good, thank you." She smiled. The first real smile I'd seen in weeks. But it wasn't real, was it? Nothing about her was real anymore. At 11:30, after dinner, after we'd cleaned up together, after I'd checked my phone for the third time, Sarah reached for my hand across the couch. "I've missed you these last few weeks. You've been so distant." "Just work stress." "I know, but tomorrow, let's just, reconnect. Remember why we work, okay?" I looked at her. This woman I'd loved for 9 years, who'd given me a daughter, who I'd planned to grow old with, and I felt nothing. "Sure. Tomorrow we'll talk about everything." "I love you, Dave." I squeezed her hand, didn't say it back, just stood up. "I'm exhausted. Going to bed." I saw it, that flicker of concern in her eyes. The worry. Good. Let her worry. That night I didn't sleep. Lay there next to her in the dark, listening to her breathe, watching the clock. 3:47 a.m. Wait, no, that's a 47. I rechecked. 3:40 a.m., then 4 a.m., then 5 a.m. At 6 a.m., I got up, showered, got dressed, went downstairs, made coffee. Today was the day. 7 years of marriage would end before lunch. The strike, July 23rd, 2024, 7:30 a.m. Sarah woke up before me. I'd gone back upstairs after my coffee, pretending to still be asleep when I heard her stir. She always woke up early on our anniversary, like a kid on Christmas morning, excited, happy. I heard her pad downstairs, heard the coffee maker start, heard her humming, then I heard her scream. I came downstairs in my robe, calm, cold, ready. She was standing in the kitchen, coffee maker gurgling. Morning sunlight coming through the windows we'd spent a weekend cleaning last spring. But instead of flowers and cards on the table, what she was probably expecting, there was the binder, sitting right in the center. Black leather, silver ribbon, gift tag. To Sarah from reality. She looked at me. Her face went completely white, hand over her mouth. "Dave, what is this?" I pulled out a chair, sat down, didn't say anything, just looked at her. "Honey, what's going on? You're scaring me." "Open it. I don't understand. Open it." My voice wasn't loud, but it was hard, cold. She flinched. Her hands were shaking as she untied the ribbon. It fell to the floor. She opened the cover. The first page was the title page. "The Truth, a Comprehensive Documentation of Infidelity." She gasped. "What?" Turn the page. Page 2 was a text conversation, her and Richard, printed, time-stamped. Sarah, May 15th, 10:23 p.m. "I think I love you." Richard, May 15th, 10:28 p.m. "I love you too. We're going to be together, I promise." She dropped the binder, actually dropped it. Pages scattered on the floor. I can explain. Page 10. "Dave, please." I stood up, walked over, picked up the binder, flipped to page 10 myself, showed her, timeline, 6 months, January through June, every working late, every client dinner, every girl's night. Cross-referenced with her phone location, with credit card charges, with text messages, all lies, all documented, all proven. Page 23. Credit card statement, hotel charge, April 22nd, the Marriott, $203. Her handwriting in the margin where she'd written Portland Retreat, work, when I'd asked about the charge. Next to it, a map showing the Marriott was in Seattle. The actual retreat was in Portland at a Hilton. Page 38, text messages to her sister, Michelle, Sarah, April 30. "I'm in over my head. I don't know how to tell Dave. He'll leave me, but I can't keep lying." Michelle, "You need to end it with Richard now, before Dave finds out." Sarah, "I know. I will. I promise. I just need to figure out how." That's when Sarah started crying, full breakdown, hyperventilating. "Please, we can work through this." Page 52. Her journal. Yes, I'd found it. In her locked desk drawer in our home office. Lock was easy to pick, just needed a paperclip. I'd photographed the pages, printed them, May 10th entry in her handwriting, I don't know who I am anymore. Richard makes me feel alive in ways Dave hasn't in years. Maybe I married too young. Maybe I never really loved Dave the way I thought I did. But I can't imagine my life without Emma, without our home. I'm trapped between two lives and I don't know how to choose. She collapsed, literally fell to her knees on the kitchen floor. No, please, I'll end it. I'll do anything. Please don't leave me. Think about Emma. I let her cry. Timed it on my watch. 2 minutes exactly. Then I said, voice calm, there's more. What? What else could there possibly be? The doorbell's about to ring. Her head snapped up. What? Right on cue. Ding dong. Who is that? Process server. Happy anniversary, Sarah. You've been served. I walked to the front door, opened it. Professional woman, maybe 50, clipboard in hand. She'd seen this before, done this 100 times. Are you Sarah Ann Mitchell? Sarah tried to back away, tried to run toward the stairs. Dave, no, please don't do this. The process server had definitely seen this before. Ma'am, you're being served divorce papers. You can accept them now, or I can leave them here on the table. Either way, you're legally served. I took them from her, closed the door, turned to Sarah. Here's your anniversary present. I handed her the envelope. She was still on the floor, mascara running, hyperventilating. Where's Emma? Safe with my parents. I told her yesterday, gave her an age-appropriate version of the truth, that mommy and daddy are having grown-up problems, that sometimes people make mistakes, that we're getting divorced. You turned my daughter against me. I told her the truth. I didn't editorialize. I showed her evidence that you could have an affair, but left out the explicit parts. She asked if we were getting divorced. I said, yes. She asked if it was her fault. I told her absolutely not. She cried. Then she asked if she did something wrong. I told her no, that this is between you and me, not about her. Sarah sobbed harder, clutching the divorce papers. How could you do this to me? How could I... I stopped. Took a breath. Sarah, you've been emotionally and physically cheating on me with your boss for 6 months, lying to my face every single day, using our money to pay for dates with him, making me look like a fool, gaslit me when I asked questions. And you're asking how I could do this to you? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Explain the texts. Explain the hotel. Explain 6 months of documented lies. She couldn't. She just cried. I went upstairs, grabbed my already packed overnight bag from the closet. Emma's favorite stuffed animal, Mr. Whiskers, a gray cat she'd had since she was 2, some of her clothes. I'd take her to get more later. Came back downstairs. You have until 5 p.m. today to get your essentials out of my house. The locks change at 5:001. Movers will be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. to pack the rest of your things. You can tell them where to deliver everything. The binder has copies of all the evidence. Your lawyer, when you get one, is going to tell you not to fight me. I have documentation of every lie, every dollar, every moment. You fight me, all of this goes public. Your parents, your friends, your co-workers, everyone will know exactly what you did and who you are. Do you understand? She couldn't even look at me, just nodded. I walked to the door, had my hand on the handle, turned back one last time. Oh, and Sarah? Richard Campbell is getting his own binder. Today. It's being hand-delivered to Morrison Marketing's HR department at 10 a.m. Company Policy Section 4. 7. Relationships between supervisors and direct reports require disclosure. You didn't disclose. That's a fireable offense for both of you. I included evidence of company credit card misuse, time theft, and ethics violations. You'll both be lucky if they don't press charges. I watched her face, horror mixed with the realization that her entire life, not just our marriage, but her career, her reputation, everything was about to implode. Have a happy anniversary, Sarah. I left, got in my car, drove to Jake's apartment. He already knew I was coming, had a beer waiting, put on SportsCenter, didn't ask questions, just let me breathe. My phone was on the coffee table, silent. I watched it start to light up. 1 call, 2, 5, 10. I didn't answer any of them. I'd done what I had to do. The affair was exposed, the divorce was filed, the truth was out. But I knew this was just the beginning of the fallout. Immediate aftermath, 10:30 a.m. My phone wouldn't stop. Message log, Sarah, 53, missed calls. After the 5th one, I blocked her number. Her mom, Patricia. How could you do this on your anniversary? She made a mistake. Everyone deserves forgiveness. How dare you humiliate her like this? I typed back, ask your daughter what she did for 6 months. Ask her about Richard Campbell. Ask her about the hotel rooms I paid for. Ask her about the lies. Then ask yourself if I'm the villain here. Sent, blocked. Her sister, Michelle, long text, paragraph after paragraph about forgiveness, about working through problems, about for better or worse. I sent her page 52 from the binder, the journal entry where Sarah wrote about how she maybe never really loved me. Michelle stopped texting. My mom, Dave, sweetheart, I just heard from Patricia. Are you okay? Finally, someone asked if I was okay. I will be, Mom, eventually. Do you need anything? Just time. Is Emma okay? She's coloring with your dad. She asked if she did something wrong again. We told her no, that you and Sarah are having grown-up problems, but it's not about her. Thank you. I'll come get her tonight. Take your time, honey. She's safe here. Richard Campbell's mom, Linda Campbell. You need to call me immediately. Wait. His mom? How did she get my number? I called. She answered, crying. Is it true? The binder the company forwarded to me? I'd sent a copy to HR with a note suggesting they might want to check with Richard's ex-wife about patterns of behavior. They'd actually followed up. Every word, every text, every timestamp, all verified. My son destroyed your marriage. Your son and my wife destroyed my marriage. But yes, he knew she was married. He knew about me. He knew about my 5-year-old daughter. And he did it anyway. He's done it before, hasn't he? Silence, then. Yes, it's why he got divorced. I thought he'd learned, but this is predatory. She's his subordinate. He's 45 years old. He knows better. I'm not asking you to do anything. I just wanted him to face consequences. He will. I called him this morning after HR contacted me, told him he's not welcome in my home anymore, told him I'm ashamed of him. I want you to know that. I didn't expect that. Honestly thought she'd defend her son. Thank you for telling me. You didn't destroy your marriage, Mr. Mitchell. They did. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We hung up. 30 minutes later, my phone rang. Unknown number, but I knew who it was. I answered, What the fuck did you do? Richard Campbell, voice shaking with rage. Happy anniversary, Richard. How's unemployment treating you? You sent my mother that binder? You psycho. This is harassment. I'm calling the police. It's all true though, right? Every text, every hotel receipt, every company credit card charge. That's not harassment, Richard. That's documentation. Call whoever you want, but you might want to check if Morrison Marketing is pressing charges for fraud first. Sarah told me you're crazy, that you're controlling and abusive. I almost laughed. Really? Is that what she said? Because I have texts where she tells you I'm sweet but boring and predictable. Not abusive. Boring. Get your story straight with your mistress before you call me again. This isn't over. Actually, it is. For you and her. See, Morrison Marketing has that binder now. HR, legal, and your boss's boss. Company policy violations are documented. Time theft, credit card fraud, undisclosed supervisor-subordinate relationship. You violated sections 4.7, 6.3, and 8.1 of the employee handbook. Start updating your LinkedIn, Richard. You're done. I hung up. Blocked his number too. Jake looked at me from the kitchen. That was cold, man. Good. That was hour 3. The employer's strike, July 23rd, 10 a.m. The third binder was delivered to Morrison Marketing Group. I'd actually mailed it 3 days earlier, certified mail, signature required, time to arrive exactly on our anniversary. Poetic. The HR director, Patricia Hughes, 52 years old according to LinkedIn, signed for it personally. Inside was everything, all the evidence, but formatted specifically for corporate legal review. Cover letter, to whom it may concern at Morrison Marketing Group. I am writing to inform you of serious policy violations by 2 of your employees, Sarah Ann Mitchell, Senior Marketing Manager, and Richard Campbell, VP of Marketing, Direct Supervisor to Ms. Mitchell. Enclosed is comprehensive documentation proving an undisclosed romantic and sexual relationship that has resulted in violation of Section 4.7, Supervisor-Subordinate Relationships, violation of Section 6.3, misuse of company credit cards for personal expenses, violation of Section 8.1, time theft and false reporting of work hours. Specific evidence included text messages proving romantic relationship, pages 15-180, company credit card charges for personal dinners disguised as business expenses, pages 181-195. Timesheet comparisons showing both employees claim to be on site at client locations while actually at hotels together, pages 196-115. Calendar discrepancies where both blocked off client meetings with no corresponding client invoices, pages 216-230. I am not seeking personal retribution through your organization. I am providing information your ethics department and legal team should have to protect the company from liability and to ensure policy compliance. However, should either party claim harassment or retaliation against me, this documentation proves their relationship predated any actions I have taken and was conducted using company time and resources. I have also provided this information to Mr. Campbell's ex-wife, who has indicated a pattern of similar behavior during his previous marriage. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Respectfully, David Mitchell, Professional, Clean, Lethal. July 24th, Teku PM. My phone rang. Different number. Sarah had gotten a burner phone. They fired me! They fired me! I was at my parents' house watching Emma play in the backyard with my dad. Didn't want her to hear this. I walked inside. And? How am I supposed to pay rent? Pay my bills? I have a daughter to support. You should have thought about that before you spent 6 months having an affair with your boss on company time and company money. Also, Emma lives with me now. Full custody. You'll get visitation once we work out a schedule through our lawyers. This is your fault. You sent that binder. No, Sarah, this is your fault. You violated company policy. You lied on your timesheets. You used company credit cards for personal expenses. You created a hostile work environment by having an undisclosed relationship with your supervisor. I just documented it. They fired you for it. Take some responsibility for once in your life. How am I supposed to pay for a lawyer now? Not my problem. You're a college-educated marketing professional with 6 years of experience. You're employable. Figure it out. Maybe Richard can help. Oh, wait. He got fired too, didn't he? Effective immediately. No severance package. Funny how that works. She was crying. I lost everything because of you. You lost everything because of your choices. You chose to have an affair. You chose to lie. You chose to violate your employment agreement. I just made sure the truth came out. Don't call me again unless it's about Emma. I hung up. Through the window, I watched Emma laughing as my dad pushed her on the swing. She looked happy, safe. That's all that mattered now. Richard, also fired, same day. I heard through Jake, who heard through a friend who worked at Morrison Marketing. They didn't mess around with liability issues. Both terminated for cause. No severance, no references, nothing. I later found out Richard tried to sue the company for wrongful termination. The company's lawyers presented the binder in their defense. His lawyer withdrew the case within a week. Social consequences. By early August, everyone knew. I didn't post anything on social media. Didn't have to. Other people did it for me. Sarah's friend, Amanda, the one I'd questioned during my investigation, had been sitting on the truth, waiting. Once the divorce was public record, she started talking. Amanda posted on Facebook, "Sometimes the people you think you know best turn out to be strangers. Disappointed doesn't even begin to cover it." Comments flooded in. "What happened? Are you okay? DM me." Someone in their office put it together. Both Sarah and Richard gone the same day. Dave Mitchell filing for divorce the same day. By August 5th, it was open knowledge in our social circle. Sarah's Facebook became a graveyard. Posts from months earlier, people commenting now. On a photo from March work retreat, "Was this when you were cheating on your husband?" On a Mother's Day post about Emma, "Does Emma know what kind of mother you really are?" On her promotion announcement, "Did you sleep your way to that promotion?" She deleted everything. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all gone within 48 hours. Richard's accounts, same thing, but not before one of his college buddies posted, "Bro, you really slept with your married subordinate with a kid involved. That's low even for you." Tagged 31 people in it. Our neighborhood found out. Emma's school found out. The suburban gossip mill is merciless. Emma told me one day at pickup, "Daddy, Lily's mom asked me if Mommy lives with us still." I said, "No." Then she asked if Mommy did something bad. I didn't know what to say. I knelt down to her level. "What did you say, sweetheart?" I said, "Grown-ups have problems sometimes. That's what you told me." "That's perfect, Emma. I'm so proud of you." But why do people keep asking about Mommy? How do you explain adult cruelty to a 5-year-old? Because people are curious sometimes, but it's not your job to explain Mommy and Daddy's problems. If someone asks, you can just say, "I don't want to talk about it, okay?" "Okay, Daddy." The community we'd built, the neighborhood barbecues, the school fundraisers, the parent-friend groups, chose sides. Most chose me. Not because I campaigned for it, but because Sarah had lied to them too. Used them as alibis without their knowledge. One of her friends called me. "Dave, I need to apologize. Sarah told me she was having coffee with me on April 15th. I wasn't even in town that day. She used me as a cover story without telling me. I feel horrible." "It's not your fault. You didn't know." Still, I should have realized something was wrong. By mid-August, Sarah had moved. 23 miles away to Redmond, different suburb. Couldn't handle running into people at Target anymore. Richard moved too, back to New York. His LinkedIn said, "Seeking new opportunities." The corporate kiss of death. His mother had apparently kept her word. He wasn't welcome at family events anymore. The legal battle, August through October, 3 months of legal warfare. Sarah hired a lawyer. Not a great one. She couldn't afford great on her retail salary. Yes, retail. She was working at Target making $15 an hour by September. My lawyer, Linda Martinez, was a shark. First hearing was August 15th. Temporary orders, custody, finances, living arrangements until the divorce finalized. Sarah's attorney tried everything. Claim 1, evidence obtained illegally. Your Honor, my client believes the evidence was obtained through illegal surveillance and unauthorized access to private communications. Linda barely looked up from her notes. Your Honor, Mr. Mitchell is the account holder on their family phone plan. Phone records are his legal right to access. The iCloud account was a family account he set up and maintained. Mrs. Mitchell's journal was in a shared home office in their jointly owned home. Social media is public domain. Everything was obtained legally. Next, the judge nodded. Objection overruled. Next issue. Claim 2, alimony due to job loss. Your Honor, my client lost her employment as a direct result of Mr. Mitchell's vindictive actions. She requires spousal support during this transitional period. Linda stood. Your Honor, Mrs. Mitchell lost her employment due to documented ethics violations, time theft, and misuse of company resources. She violated her employment contract by engaging in an undisclosed romantic relationship with her direct supervisor and misusing company credit cards. That's termination for cause, not related to marital status. Furthermore, Mrs. Mitchell has a bachelor's degree in marketing from the University of Washington and 6 years of professional experience. She's eminently employable. She's chosen to work retail temporarily, but that's her choice, not Mr. Mitchell's responsibility. Additionally, Linda continued, pulling out documents, we have evidence that Mrs. Mitchell spent over $2,300 of marital funds on her extramarital affair. She's not entitled to alimony when she misappropriated marital assets. Judge looked at Sarah. Mrs. Mitchell, did you spend marital funds on your affair? Sarah's lawyer whispered to her. She nodded. How much? I don't know exactly. Mr. Mitchell's attorney has documentation showing $2,187. Do you dispute that figure? No, Your Honor. Alimony denied. Next issue. Claim 3. Equal custody a minor child. This one hurt because it was about Emma. Your Honor, my client requests equal parenting time with Emma Mitchell, age 5. Linda stood again. Your Honor, we're requesting primary physical custody with reasonable visitation for Mrs. Mitchell. Emma Mitchell has expressed her wishes to reside primarily with her father. While we understand the court doesn't make decisions based solely on a 5-year-old's preference, it is a factor. Additionally, we have documentation showing Mr. Mitchell has been the de facto primary parent for the past 8 months. School drop-offs and pickups, doctor's appointments, parent-teacher conferences, bedtime routines, all primarily Mr. Mitchell, while Mrs. Mitchell worked late nights and weekends. She presented a binder, not the binder, a different one, full of texts, emails, school records. This is a text from Mrs. Mitchell to Mr. Mitchell, March 15th. Can you handle Emma's checkup tomorrow? I have a meeting. April 3rd. Working late again. Can you do bedtime? May 10th. Too tired to read to Emma tonight? You do it. Pattern established over 8 months. The judge reviewed it. Mrs. Mitchell, do you dispute this characterization of the parenting arrangement? Sarah was crying. I was working. I had a demanding job. You were having an affair. The judge interrupted. Blunt. These late nights weren't all work, were they? Some were work, but not all. Answer the question. No, not all. The judge sighed. I'm awarding primary physical custody to Mr. Mitchell. Mrs. Mitchell will have parenting time every other weekend and Wednesday evenings. We'll revisit in 6 months. Sarah collapsed in her chair. Her lawyer put a hand on her shoulder. Emma would primarily live with me. It's what she wanted, but it still hurt to see Sarah's face. Claim 4, division of assets. Your Honor, my client is entitled to half of all marital assets. Linda smiled. Actually, smiled. Your Honor, we're proposing an equitable division with appropriate adjustments. Mr. Mitchell funded the down payment on the marital home entirely from premarital savings, $38,000. Documented here. He's proposing Mrs. Mitchell receive her vehicle, her personal belongings, 35% of the marital portion of retirement accounts, and 30% of home equity to be paid out over 5 years. That's not equal, Sarah's lawyer objected. It's equitable, Linda countered. Mrs. Mitchell misappropriated $2,387 in marital funds. She's receiving less due to marital waste doctrine. Additionally, Mr. Mitchell is assuming all marital debt, $12,000 in credit cards that Mrs. Mitchell charged up. He's being generous. The judge looked at the numbers. I find the proposed division equitable given the circumstances. Mrs. Mitchell receives 35% of retirement accounts, 30% of home equity payable over 5 years at 3% interest, her vehicle and personal belongings. Mr. Mitchell retains the house, his retirement accounts minus the awarded portion, and assumes all marital debt. No alimony. Mrs. Mitchell pays her own legal fees. Sarah's lawyer tried to object. The judge held up a hand. Counsel, your client committed marital waste. She violated her employment contract. She's employable, but underemployed by choice. This is as good as you're going to get. I suggest you take it. Final hearing was October 18th. Sarah showed up looking destroyed, lost 20 pounds, dark circles under her eyes, hair in a messy ponytail, clothes wrinkled. Part of me felt sorry for her. Part of me remembered what she'd done. The judge asked if she had anything to say before finalizing the divorce. Sarah stood, voice shaking. Your Honor, I made terrible mistakes. I'm so sorry for what I did. I hurt my husband, my daughter, myself. I just want the chance to be Emma's mom. That's all I'm asking for. The judge looked at her, not unkindly, but firm. Ms. Mitchell, you didn't make a mistake. Mistakes are accidental. You made a series of deliberate choices over 6 months. You chose to engage in an affair. You chose to lie to your family. You chose to misuse marital funds and violate your employment contract. Those aren't mistakes. Those are choices, and choices have consequences. He looked down at his paperwork. However, you are Emma's mother. Children generally benefit from relationships with both parents when safe and appropriate. The custody arrangement stands. The asset division stands. This divorce is granted. Court costs split equally. Gavel. Done. As we left the courthouse, Sarah tried to approach me. Dave, can we talk just for a minute? I kept walking toward the parking garage. We don't have anything to talk about. Please, I stopped, turned around. Linda was a few steps behind me, giving us space, but within earshot if needed. Sarah, let me make this crystal clear. You are nothing to me now. You're the mother of my daughter, and that's the only reason I'll ever acknowledge your existence. I don't hate you. I don't love you. I don't feel anything for you at all. You're a cautionary tale I'll tell Emma when she's old enough, about what happens when people make selfish choices and hurt the people who love them. That's your legacy in my life. Now leave me alone. Her face crumpled, but I turned and walked away. That was the last real conversation I had with Sarah for a very long time. The darkness. You'd think after winning everything, I'd feel great. I didn't. November through January was brutal. The house was too quiet. Emma was there half the time. Every other weekend, she was at Sarah's small apartment in Redmond. Wednesday nights, too. But when she wasn't there, just me and the silence. I couldn't sleep in the master bedroom anymore. Too many memories. Slept in the guest room for 2 months. Eventually just moved all my stuff in there permanently. Turned the master into a home office. Bought a desk, filing cabinets. Filled it with work I couldn't focus on. I started drinking more. Not alcoholic levels, not yet. But more than before. A couple beers after Emma went to bed became a 6-pack, became whiskey on bad nights. Work suffered. I was short with people. Snapped at my team in meetings, couldn't focus, missed deadlines. In December, I almost blew the Henderson account. Our biggest client. Forgot about a presentation. Showed up unprepared. Had to wing it. Barely saved it. My boss Tom pulled me aside right before Christmas. Dave, you need to talk to someone. I'm fine. You're not fine. You look like hell. You snapped at Kelly yesterday. Kelly, who's literally never done anything to anyone. You almost lost Henderson. That's not you. You need help or I'm going to have to put you on a performance plan, and I really don't want to do that. He was right. I was barely functional. I'll look into it. Don't look into it. Do it. I'm serious. You're one of my best people, but you're drowning and I can't watch it anymore. January 2025. I started therapy. Dr. Reynolds, guy in his early 60s, kind eyes, no bullshit attitude. My insurance covered it. $30 co-pay per session. First session. I sat in his office, comfortable chairs, warm lighting, bookshelf full of psychology texts, and he asked, "What brought you here, Dave?" I won. I got everything I wanted. Full custody, the house, the divorce. My ex-wife lost her job, her reputation, her home. Her affair partner lost everything too. I exposed them both. I documented everything. I executed perfectly. I paused. But I feel worse now than I did when I discovered the affair. He nodded, waited. I can't sleep, can't eat right, drinking too much, work suffering, I'm angry all the time, at everyone, at everything. I thought winning would fix me. It didn't. It just ended things. But I'm still broken, maybe more broken than before. Do you regret what you did? No. Then why are you here? Because I'm not okay, and I don't know how to be okay. That's when I started crying, in front of a complete stranger, just broke down, sat there in that comfortable chair and sobbed. Dr. Reynolds handed me tissues, waited until I composed myself. Dave, revenge closes a chapter, but it doesn't heal the wound. That takes different work, different tools. Are you ready to do that work? I don't know, maybe. I just know I can't keep living like this. Then let's start. Over the next few months, we worked on it. The anger, the betrayal trauma. Yes, that's a real thing, he told me. PTSD from infidelity. It's documented. It's legitimate. The trust issues, the parenting challenges, the drinking. But late February was really bad. Really, really bad. I had a moment that scared me more than anything Sarah had done. It was 11 p.m. Emma was at Sarah's for the night. I was in the garage, car keys in my hand. I'd had 4 whiskeys, maybe 5, wasn't counting anymore. And I stood there looking at my car, and I thought about how easy it would be to just not be here anymore. Start the car, close the garage door, go to sleep, stop hurting. Emma would be okay. She had Sarah. She had my parents. She'd survive. I wouldn't hurt anymore. I stood there for 5 minutes, keys in hand, finger on the button to start the car. 5 minutes where I seriously considered it. I didn't do it. But the fact that I thought about it, that I stood there and weighed the pros and cons of ending my life, that scared me more than anything. I called Jake, midnight. I need help. What's wrong? I just need you to come over, please. He heard it in my voice. I'm on my way. Don't do anything. I'm coming. He was there in 15 minutes, came in through the garage. I'd left it open, found me sitting on the floor, didn't ask questions, just sat down next to me. You okay? No. You gonna be okay? I don't know. Okay, I'm staying tonight. He did, slept on my couch, made breakfast in the morning, called Dr. Reynolds' emergency line for me. Dr. Reynolds fit me in that same day. Emergency session. Dave, what you just described is suicidal ideation. We need to take this seriously. I wasn't actually going to do it. You thought about it for 5 minutes. That's not nothing. That's a crisis point. He increased my sessions to twice a week. Started me on medication, antidepressants, Lexapro 10 milligrams. This isn't a weakness, he told me. Your body went through trauma. Betrayal trauma is real. And then you spent months in high alert mode, investigating, planning, executing this elaborate revenge campaign. You were in fight or flight for almost a year. Your nervous system is crashing now that it's over. You're essentially in withdrawal from adrenaline. So what do I do? Therapy, medication, time, self-compassion, and understanding that revenge doesn't equal healing. You got justice. That's important. But now you need to heal the wound underneath. How long will that take? As long as it takes, there's no timeline for healing from betrayal. Emma's pain. Emma was struggling too. My 5-year-old daughter, who should have been worried about kindergarten and dolls, was dealing with her parents' divorce instead. Her teacher, Mrs. Patterson, called me in for a conference in March. Mr. Mitchell, Emma's been having some behavioral issues. I sat in the tiny kindergarten chair across from her desk. What kind of issues? She's normally such a sweet, engaged child, but lately she's been withdrawn. Her artwork has gotten darker, lots of black and gray instead of her usual bright colors, and she got into an altercation with another student last week. An altercation? A boy in her class said something about her mother. Emma pushed him, hard. He fell and scraped his knee. She's never been physical before. My heart sank. What did the boy say? Mrs. Patterson looked uncomfortable. He told Emma that his mother said Emma's mother is a bad person, that she did bad things. Fucking suburban gossip affecting my 5-year-old. I'll talk to her. That night after dinner, I sat down with Emma. Mrs. Patterson told me what happened at school with Jaden. Emma looked down at her hands. I didn't mean to hurt him. What did he say to you, sweetheart? He said his mommy told him my mommy is bad, that she did bad things. I told him to stop. He didn't stop, so I pushed him. Oh, Emma, is mommy bad, Daddy? How do you answer that? How do you tell your 5-year-old daughter that, yes, her mother did bad things, but she's still her mother? Mommy made some mistakes, grown-up mistakes, but she's not bad. She loves you very much. Then why doesn't she live with us? Because sometimes when grown-ups make mistakes, they can't be married anymore, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Did she leave because of me? I pulled her into my lap, held her tight. No. Emma, listen to me. This is absolutely not your fault. Nothing. Mommy and Daddy's problems are between Mommy and Daddy. You did nothing wrong. You are perfect. You are loved. This is not about you. She cried into my shoulder. I miss when we were all together. I know, baby. I know. The school counselor recommended therapy for Emma. I got her in with a child psychologist the following week. After Emma's 3rd session, the therapist, Dr. Chen, asked to speak with me privately. Emma's experiencing what we call ambiguous loss. She's lost her family structure, but not her parents. It's confusing for children. What can I do? Keep reassuring her it's not her fault. Maintain stability. Keep routines consistent. And Dave, she paused, Emma told me something today. My stomach dropped. What? She said she feels like she lost both parents. Her mother by what happened, and you by what you became after. She's grieving 2 losses. That destroyed me. What do you mean, what I became? She said you're sad, all the time now, that you used to smile and play with her, but now you just seem tired and far away. She thinks she did something wrong to make you sad. Oh God. I didn't realize. Children are perceptive. They pick up on adult emotions even when we try to hide them. I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty. You're clearly dealing with your own trauma. But Emma needs her father present, not just physically here. I sat Emma down that night, at the kitchen table, her feet dangling from the chair. Emma, Daddy owes you an apology. For what? For being sad and tired. For not being the daddy you needed while I was dealing with grown-up problems. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you the way I should have been. It's okay, Daddy. You're sad because of Mommy. That's true. But that's not an excuse. You needed me and I was too caught up in my own feelings. I'm going to be better. I promise. You promise? I promise, starting now. What do you want to do tonight? Can we make cookies like we used to? When was the last time we done that? Before Sarah's affair was discovered, months ago. Yes, we can absolutely make cookies. We spent 2 hours in the kitchen making chocolate chip cookies, eating raw dough even though you're not supposed to, making a mess, laughing. Emma got flour in her hair. I got chocolate on my shirt. The cookies came out slightly burned because we were too busy having fun to watch the timer. This isn't a weakness, he told me. Your body went through trauma. Betrayal trauma is real. And then you spent months in high alert mode, investigating, planning, executing this elaborate revenge campaign. You are in fight or flight for almost a year. Your nervous system is crashing now that it's over. You're essentially in withdrawal from adrenaline. So what do? Therapy, medication, time, self-compassion, and understanding that revenge doesn't equal healing. You got justice. That's important. But now you need to heal the wound underneath. How long will that take? As long as it takes. There's no timeline for healing from betrayal. Emma's pain. Emma was struggling too. My 5-year-old daughter, who should have been worried about kindergarten and dolls, was dealing with her parents' divorce instead. Her teacher, Mrs. Patterson, called me in for a conference in March. Mr. Mitchell, Emma's been having some behavioral issues. I sat in the tiny kindergarten chair across from her desk. What kind of issues? She's normally such a sweet, engaged child, but lately she's been withdrawn. Her artwork has gotten darker, lots of black and gray instead of her usual bright colors, and she got into an altercation with another student last week. An altercation? A boy in her class said something about her mother. Emma pushed him hard. He fell and scraped his knee. She's never been physical before. My heart sank. What did the boy say? Mrs. Patterson looked uncomfortable. He told Emma that his mother said Emma's mother is a bad person, that she did bad things. Fucking suburban gossip, affecting my 5-year-old. I'll talk to her. That night, after dinner, I sat down with Emma. Mrs. Patterson told me what happened at school with Jaden. Emma looked down at her hands. I didn't mean to hurt him. What did he say to you, sweetheart? He said his mommy told him my mommy is bad, that she did bad things. I told him to stop. He didn't stop, so I pushed him. Oh, Emma, is mommy bad, Daddy? How do you answer that? How do you tell your 5-year-old daughter that, yes, her mother did bad things, but she's still her mother? Mommy made some mistakes, grown-up mistakes, but she's not bad. She loves you very much. Then why doesn't she live with us? Because sometimes when grown-ups make mistakes, they can't be married anymore. But that doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Did she leave because of me? I pulled her into my lap, held her tight. No, Emma, listen to me. This is absolutely not your fault. Nothing. Mommy and Daddy's problems are between Mommy and Daddy. You did nothing wrong. You are perfect. You are loved. This is not about you. She cried into my shoulder. I miss when we were all together. I know, baby. I know. The school counselor recommended therapy for Emma. I got her in with a child psychologist the following week. After Emma's 3rd session, the therapist, Dr. Chen, asked to speak with me privately. Emma's experiencing what we call ambiguous loss. She's lost her family structure but not her parents. It's confusing for children. What can I do? Keep reassuring her it's not her fault. Maintain stability. Keep routines consistent. And Dave... She paused. Emma told me something today. My stomach dropped. What? She said she feels like she lost both parents. Her mother by what happened and you by what you became after. She's grieving 2 losses. That destroyed me. What do you mean what I became? She said you're sad all the time now, that you used to smile and play with her, but now you just seem tired and far away. She thinks she did something wrong to make you sad. Oh God. I didn't realize. Children are perceptive. They pick up on adult emotions even when we try to hide them. I'm not saying this to make you feel guilty. You're clearly dealing with your own trauma, but Emma needs her father present, not just physically here. I sat Emma down that night at the kitchen table, her feet dangling from the chair. Emma, Daddy owes you an apology. For what? For being sad and tired? For not being the daddy you needed while I was dealing with grown-up problems? I'm sorry I wasn't there for you the way I should have been. It's okay, Daddy. You're sad because of Mommy. That's true, but that's not an excuse. You needed me and I was too caught up in my own feelings. I'm going to be better. I promise. You promise? I promise, starting now. What do you want to do tonight? Can we make cookies like we used to? When was the last time we'd done that? Before Sarah's affair was discovered. Months ago. Yes, we can absolutely make cookies. We spent 2 hours in the kitchen making chocolate chip cookies, eating raw dough, even though you're not supposed to, making a mess, laughing. Emma got flour in her hair. I got chocolate on my shirt. The cookies came out slightly burned because we were too busy having fun to watch the timer. It was the best night I'd had in months. When I tucked her in, she said, "Daddy, you smiled today. A real smile. I missed your smile." I kissed her forehead. "I missed it too, sweetheart. I'm going to smile more. I promise." Sarah's aftermath. I tried not to get updates about Sarah. Really tried. But people kept telling me things. By spring, through mutual acquaintances I hadn't cut off, I heard she'd hit rock bottom. Lost her job, lost her home, lost custody, lost most of her friends. Her parents were barely speaking to her. Patricia had called her an embarrassment to the family. Richard had cut off all contact once he lost his job, blamed her for everything, told former colleagues she pursued me, and I was trying to end it, but she wouldn't let go. Lies. But that's what narcissists do. Sarah was living in a one-bedroom apartment in Redmond, working at Target for $50 an hour, barely making rent. No car. She'd sold it to pay for her divorce lawyer, taking the bus to work, to her visits with Emma. One of her former friends who still checked on her occasionally, Amanda, called me in April. "Dave, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but Sarah's not doing well." "That's not my problem anymore, Amanda." "I know, but she's really struggling. She cries every day. All she talks about is Emma, how much she misses her, how sorry she is. I'm worried about her." Part of me felt satisfaction. Good. She should hurt. She should know what she put me through. But part of me, a smaller part but still there, felt something heavier. Not quite guilt, more like sorrow for what we'd both lost. I brought it up in therapy. "I destroyed her life," I told Dr. Reynolds. "She's working retail, barely affording rent, only sees Emma twice a week. Was it worth it?" He leaned back in his chair. "Did you make her have an affair?" "No." "Did you make her lie for 6 months?" "No." "Did you make her violate her employment contract and misuse company resources?" "No." "Then you didn't destroy her life, Dave. You responded to what she did. Her consequences are the result of her choices." "But I chose how to respond. I chose scorched earth. I could have just quietly divorced." "You could have. Would that have been better?" "I don't know. Maybe, for Emma. Maybe, but Sarah made choices knowing she had a daughter, knowing she had a family. She chose her affair over her family's stability. You didn't make that choice. She did. She's still a human being. She's suffering. So are you. So is Emma. She made a choice that hurt people. Those people responded. That's not your fault." Logically, I knew he was right. Emotionally, still hard. I told Amanda, "I don't need updates anymore. It's not my problem. I need to focus on moving forward, not tracking Sarah's decline." "I understand. For what it's worth, I think she really is sorry." Sorry doesn't undo what she did. Tell her to focus on being the best mother she can be for Emma. That's all I care about now. Meeting Rebecca, June 2025, 10 months post-separation, 18 months since I'd discovered the affair. I wasn't looking to date. Dr. Reynolds had suggested I take at least a year before considering new relationships. "You need to heal first," he'd said. "Otherwise you'll just bring all this damage into something new." But life has a funny way of happening anyway. I was at Emma's end-of-year kindergarten picnic, standing awkwardly by the snack table, juice boxes and cookies, watching Emma play with her friends on the playground. A woman about my age approached, brown hair, warm smile, carrying a plate of fruit. "You're Emma's dad, right?" "Yeah, Dave." I extended my hand. Rebecca Foster. My daughter Lily is in Emma's class. They're friends. Oh, Lily. Emma talks about her all the time. We got to talking, normal parent small talk, kids, school, summer plans, easy, comfortable. Then she said, I heard about your divorce. I'm sorry. That must have been really hard. Most people avoided mentioning it. She just put it out there. Yeah, it is getting better though. I went through something similar 2 years ago. My ex had an affair with his coworker, left me and Lily for her. They're married now, actually. Jesus, I'm sorry. It's okay. Well, it's not okay, but I've made peace with it. Mostly. She smiled, self-deprecating. Therapy helps. Yeah, I'm in therapy too, twice a week. Same. Best decision I ever made. She paused. Hey, some of the kindergarten parents are getting coffee next Tuesday morning, before work. Adult conversation that isn't about custody schedules and court dates. You should come. I almost said no, almost made an excuse. But something about her openness, her lack of judgment, her understanding of what I was going through. Yeah, okay, I'll come. That Tuesday, 6 of us met at a local coffee shop. Rebecca was there. We ended up sitting next to each other, talked about everything except our exes, work, hobbies, Emma's reading progress, Lily's obsession with dinosaurs, found out Rebecca worked in nonprofit management, education advocacy, loved hiking, something I used to do before marriage and kids, had a dark sense of humor that matched mine. After coffee, she walked me to my car. This was nice. We should do it again sometime, maybe without the kindergarten parent buffer. I looked at her. Are you asking me out, Rebecca? Maybe. I don't know. I'm terrible at this. I haven't dated since my divorce finalized. Same. How about we both be terrible at it together? She laughed. Actually laughed. Okay, dinner? This weekend? Yeah, let's do dinner. We exchanged numbers. I drove to work smiling. First time I'd smiled about something other than Emma in months. Building something new. We took it slow, really slow. First few dates were just dinner and conversation. Talking about our divorces, couldn't avoid it, too much shared trauma, venting about ex-spouses who'd betrayed us, comparing notes on therapy techniques. So you tried the breathing exercises too? Rebecca asked over sushi on our third date. Yep, felt ridiculous, but they actually help during panic attacks. Right? My therapist had me doing them in her office. I thought she was insane. Now I do them in my car before I have to see my ex at custody exchanges. I do them in the Target parking lot sometimes, afraid I'll run into Sarah. We laughed, dark humor, but it helped. After a month of dates, we had our first kiss, in her driveway after dinner, awkward as hell. We both pulled back and laughed. I think I forgot how to do this, she said. Same. Want to try again? Yeah. The second kiss was better. Dr. Reynolds asked in our next session, how does this feel different from your marriage? Honest, we're both messed up and we're not pretending otherwise. There's no performance, no trying to be perfect. We're just two broken people trying to figure it out. That's healthy, Dave, as long as you're both doing your own work too. We are. She sees her therapist Wednesdays and Fridays. I see you Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're both on medication. We both have trust issues we're working through. It's not some fairy tale romance. It's realistic. Good. Because new relationships don't fix old wounds. They just give you a reason to keep healing. By September, we were officially together. Nothing dramatic. Just naturally progressed from dating to in a relationship. Emma met Rebecca and Lily in October. I'd been nervous about it, really nervous, planned it carefully. Casual play date at the park, no pressure, no this is daddy's girlfriend announcement, just two families hanging out. Emma was shy at first, stayed close to me, watched Rebecca carefully, but after 30 minutes of playing with Lily on the swings, she warmed up. On the drive home, I like Miss Rebecca, Daddy. She's nice. And Lily's my best friend. I like her too, sweetheart. Are you going to marry her? 5-year-olds, zero filter. Whoa, slow down, we're just dating, getting to know each other. Okay, but if you do marry her, can Lily be my sister? We'll see, Emma, one step at a time. December. Rebecca and I had our first real fight. She'd gone to dinner with a male colleague. Didn't mention it beforehand. I saw it on her Instagram story. Photo of 2 wine glasses. Caption, strategy session with Tom fundraiser. I shut down. Full panic mode. That familiar feeling. The one from before. When she came over later, who's Tom? She looked confused. Tom from work, why? You had dinner with him. Yeah. We were planning the spring fundraiser. It was a work dinner. You didn't tell me you were having dinner with another man. Her expression changed. Understanding mixed with hurt. Dave, it was a work dinner at Panera at 6 o'clock. I posted it on social media because we had a productive meeting and I was happy about the fundraiser plans. I wasn't hiding it. You posted it publicly but didn't tell me directly. How is that not weird? She set down her coat, looked me in the eye, voice gentle but firm. Dave, I'm not Sarah. Tom is not Richard. It was a work dinner in a public place. I posted it because I was excited, not because I was hiding anything. I didn't specifically tell you because it was work, not personal. It didn't occur to me that you'd need a play-by-play of my work meetings. I felt it then. What I was doing, projecting Sarah's betrayal onto Rebecca's innocent actions. You're right. I'm sorry. That's my shit, not yours. I'm letting the past poison this. I get it. I've been there. After my ex, I was paranoid about everything for a year. Checked his phone constantly. The guy I dated before you. It destroyed that relationship. But Dave, you have to choose. Either trust me or don't be with me. I can't live under constant suspicion for things I haven't done. She was right. I had to make a choice. Be controlled by my past or build a new future. I choose to trust you. And I'll work on this in therapy. I promise. Thank you. She reached for my hand. And Dave, if I'm ever going to betray your trust, I'm too damn tired to be clever about it. You'll know immediately because I'll just tell you. I'm done with lies and secrets. Had enough of that in my marriage. I laughed despite myself. Fair enough. We were okay, but I made a note to talk to Dr. Reynolds about it. By January 2026, 15 months after serving Sarah the divorce papers, 2 years since discovering the affair, I was genuinely happy for the first time in years. Not because Rebecca fixed me. She didn't. I was still in therapy, still on medication, still had bad days where the betrayal felt fresh. But I'd done the work, the hard, painful work of healing, of learning to trust again, of forgiving myself for the ways I'd handled things, even while standing by my choices. Rebecca was just the bonus for showing up to my own life again. Full circle moments, March 2026. I took Rebecca to Russo's Italian, the restaurant where Sarah had her first business dinner with Richard, the place I'd paid for with my credit card $156, while they flirted over wine. Are you sure about this? Rebecca asked as we pulled into the parking lot. Don't you have bad associations with this place? I do, but I want to make new memories here. Replace the old ones with good ones. We had an amazing night, laughed about our kids, held hands across the table, talked about maybe taking a weekend trip in the summer, just us, parents' weekend off. Didn't think about Sarah or Richard once. As we left, the waiter, older gentleman, maybe 65, stopped me at the door. Excuse me, sir, I hope this isn't inappropriate, but I remember you. You used to come here with someone else. About 2 years ago? Oh, fuck. Here we go. Yeah, we're divorced now. He smiled kindly. I'm glad you're here with someone who looks at you the way you look at her. You seem happy. You deserve it. That was unexpected, human, kind. Thank you. That means more than you know. I tipped him 35%, left the restaurant feeling lighter than I had in years. May 2026, Emma's kindergarten graduation. Sarah had visitation that week. She'd be at the ceremony. First time I'd seen her in person since the courthouse in October 2024. 18 months. I was nervous. So was Rebecca. Do you want me to come? She'd asked. Yes, but only if you're comfortable. I'll understand if... Dave, I'm coming. We're together. I'm part of Emma's life now. I should be there. The ceremony was in the school gym. Little kids in paper graduation caps. Emma was so excited, had been talking about it for weeks. I saw Sarah walk in. She looked different, healthier than the last time I'd seen her, had gained back the weight she'd lost, hair done, clean clothes, put together. She sat on the opposite side of the gym, caught my eye once, nodded. I nodded back. After the ceremony, Emma ran to me first. Daddy, did you see? I got my diploma. I saw, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you. Then she ran to Sarah. Mommy. Sarah scooped her up, hugged her tight, cried a little. I'm so proud of you, baby. Watching them, I felt complicated, relief that Sarah was showing up for Emma, sadness for what we'd all lost, acceptance that this was our new normal. After Sarah put Emma down, she approached me. Rebecca was standing next to me, hand in mine. Dave, can we talk? Just for a minute? Rebecca squeezed my hand. I'll go get Emma some juice. Gave us space. What do you need, Sarah? Nothing. I need to say something. I'm sorry for everything. I know that doesn't fix anything. I know you'll probably never forgive me. But I need you to know that I know I destroyed our family. And I live with that every single day. I looked at her. Really looked. She was sincere. And she looked tired. Like someone who'd been carrying a heavy weight for too long. I believe you. And I hope you're doing better. I am. Therapy 3 times a week. Got a better job. Marketing coordinator at a small nonprofit downtown. Not what I used to do, but it's honest work. Trying to rebuild my relationship with Emma. That's good. She needs her mom. Despite everything, she does need you in her life. You're with someone new. She glanced at Rebecca, who was crouched down talking to Emma and Lily. She seems lovely. She is. I'm happy, Sarah. Actually happy. She smiled, sad, but genuine. I'm glad. You deserve to be happy. I'm sorry I couldn't be the person who made you happy. I'm sorry I wasn't enough. I took a breath. Sarah, we're not friends. We're never going to be, but I don't hate you anymore. I'm just done. Done being angry. Done carrying this around. I hope you find peace with yourself. I really do. Thank you, Dave. That's more grace than I deserve. Maybe. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me and for Emma. She needs to see that people can move past things, even when they hurt each other badly. She nodded, wiped her eyes. I should go. Let you enjoy this day. Sarah? She turned back. Keep showing up for Emma. Keep being present. That's all I ask. I will. I promise. That was our closure. Real closure this time. The new life, August 2026. Present day, 2 years since the anniversary reveal. 20 months since the divorce was finalized. Status updates. Me. In a serious relationship with Rebecca Foster. We're not engaged yet, but we're talking about future. About maybe moving in together next year. About blending our families. Taking it slow but intentional. Still in therapy once a week. Still on medication. Still have bad days, but mostly good days now. Emma. Now 6 years old, starting first grade next week. Back to being a happy, playful kid. Still sees her child therapist, Dr. Chen, monthly, but doing great. Has adjusted to the 2-home situation. Loves having Lily as a sister when we do joint activities with Rebecca's family. Starting soccer this fall. Wants to be a veterinarian when she grows up because animals don't lie, Daddy. That one hurt, but she's processing things in her own way. Sarah. Seeing Emma every other weekend and Wednesday dinners as scheduled. Relationship improving slowly but steadily. Working as marketing coordinator at a youth education nonprofit. Makes about $52,000 a year now. Has a small apartment, but it's stable, still in therapy, dating someone new, according to Emma. Mommy's friend Mike comes over sometimes. He's nice. He brings me books. Good for her, honestly. Richard Campbell. No idea. Don't care. Last I heard through the grapevine, he moved to Chicago, took a position at a smaller firm at a much lower level. Title inflation to hide the demotion. LinkedIn says senior marketing manager, but it's not VP work. Karma has a way of catching up. Rebecca and Lily. Rebecca's been my partner in every sense. Understanding about my baggage, patient when I have bad days, firm when I need to be called on my shit. Lily's 8 now. She and Emma are basically sisters already. Their sleepovers at my place are chaotic and wonderful. Life isn't perfect. I still have bad nights, still wake up sometimes at 3 a.m. with anxiety, still have moments where I see something, a text notification, a late night at work, and my brain goes to that dark place. But I'm healing. The house is full of laughter again. Emma's giggles, Rebecca's terrible jokes, seriously, they're bad. Dad jokes level bad. Our movie nights and Taco Tuesdays. The small rituals that make a life. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. That Dave was naive, trusting to a fault, blind to the signs, comfortable in his ignorance. This Dave? He's wary but not cynical, protective but not paranoid, healing but not healed. And that's okay. Dr. Reynolds told me last month, healing isn't about getting back to who you were. That person is gone. It's about becoming someone new, someone who's learned, who's grown, who's survived. I've survived. We've all survived. And we're building something new from the rubble. That's enough. Epilogue. If you've made it this far, thank you. This was a lot, longer than I planned. More detailed than I probably should have shared. But I needed to tell it, needed to get it out. Some people will say I went too far, that I should have just divorced quietly, not involved her employer, not sent the binder on our anniversary, not gone scorched earth, that I traumatized my daughter, that I'm the villain in this story. Maybe they're right. My therapist, Dr. Reynolds, says revenge doesn't heal. He's not wrong. But do I regret it? No, not the binder, not the anniversary reveal, not exposing Richard's pattern of predatory behavior, not making sure Morrison Marketing knew they had a liability problem. Why? Because Sarah didn't just cheat. She lied every single day for 6 months. She gaslit me when I asked questions. She used our money to fund her affair. She made me feel crazy for noticing changes. She exposed our daughter to instability while I picked up the slack. She and Richard discussed me like I was an obstacle to work around, not a human being with feelings. That deserved consequences. Do I regret the impact on Emma? Every single day. That's my biggest regret. Not protecting her better from the fallout. Not considering how public exposure would affect her at school. Not anticipating how cruel other kids and parents would be. Would I do it differently, knowing what I know now? Some things, yes. I'd have been more careful about Emma. Found a way to expose the truth without it affecting her so directly. But the core of it, documenting everything, filing for divorce, protecting my rights, exposing the affair, I'd do that again. Hindsight is 20/20. What I learned. Trust your gut. If something feels off, investigate. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking you're paranoid. I knew something was wrong in March. Ignored it until May. Those 2 months cost me peace of mind I'll never get back. Document everything. Evidence is power, especially in divorce court. Without that binder, Sarah could have painted me as the villain, could have claimed I was controlling, abusive, whatever. Evidence protected me. Protect yourself legally first. Get a lawyer before confrontation. File first if possible. Control the narrative. I consulted Linda Martinez 2 months before Sarah even knew I knew. That gave me leverage she never recovered from. Revenge closes chapters but doesn't heal wounds. This is the big one. The anniversary reveal felt good in the moment. Watching Sarah's face as she opened that binder, satisfying. Knowing Richard lost his job, karmic justice. But none of it made me feel better long term. Therapy did that, time did that, building something new did that. Your kids will hurt regardless. You can't protect them from all pain. I tried, failed. Emma hurt anyway. The best you can do is minimize damage and be present for the healing. Show up. Be honest. Give them space to feel. Betrayal trauma is real. PTSD from infidelity is legitimate. It's documented. It's not weakness. If you're going through this, get help. Therapy isn't just for crazy people. It's for people who've been hurt and need tools to heal. You can rebuild, even when it feels impossible, even when you're broken, even when you wake up and wonder if it's worth getting out of bed. You can rebuild something new. It won't look like what you had, but it can be good. Different, but good. To anyone going through this right now, you'll survive. It won't feel like it at first. The first few months will be hell. You'll cry in your car. You'll question everything about yourself. You'll wonder what you did wrong. You'll replay every moment looking for signs you missed. But you'll survive. And eventually, not quickly, but eventually, you'll do more than survive. You'll build something new. To anyone thinking about cheating, don't. Just don't. If you're unhappy, talk to your spouse. Go to therapy. If it's beyond repair, get divorced. But don't cheat, because your partner might find out. They might be documenting everything. They might be building their own binder right now. And when it drops, and it will drop, you won't get to play victim. You won't get to rewrite history. Your choices will have consequences. Choose wisely. To anyone who's been both the betrayed and the betrayer, I understand it's complicated. People make mistakes. Sometimes good people do bad things. Sometimes hurt people, but own it. Don't minimize. Don't blame your partner for not meeting your needs. Don't claim it just happened. Affairs don't just happen. They're built choice by choice, lie by lie. Own your choices. Face the consequences. Do the work to be better. I don't know if Sarah and I will ever have a functional co-parenting relationship. Probably not. We're civil at exchanges. We text about Emma's schedule. We both show up to school events and sit on opposite sides of the room. That's our new normal. But we're both showing up for Emma. Both in therapy. Both trying to be better parents than we were spouses. And Emma, she's okay. She's going to be okay. Because kids are resilient. More resilient than we give them credit for. As for me and Rebecca, we're taking it one day at a time. No rush, no pressure, just two people who've been broken trying to build something real. Last week, we were making dinner together. Emma and Lily were in the living room playing. Rebecca was chopping vegetables. I was at the stove. She looked at me and said, "You know what's nice." What? This normal, boring, making dinner on a Tuesday, no drama, no secrets, just us. Yeah, I said, it's pretty great. And it is. Life isn't perfect. It's not a fairy tale. There's no dramatic, happily ever after. But there's dinner on Tuesdays. There's Emma's laughter. There's Rebecca's hand in mine. There's therapy appointments and medication reminders and soccer practice and bedtime stories. There's a life being built from the ashes of the old one. And sometimes that's enough. More than enough. Final thought. Someone on Reddit once told me, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. For a long time, I hated Sarah, burned with it, rage and betrayal, and hurt so deep I couldn't breathe. Now I feel nothing, not hate, not love, just indifference. She's Emma's mom. That's it. That's the only space she occupies in my life. And that's how I know I've healed. Not because I forgave her. Forgiveness is complicated, and I'm still working on that, but because I'm free. Free from the anger, free from the need for her to suffer, free from the hold that betrayal had on me. I'm free to build something new. And so are you, if you're going through this. It gets better. Not quickly, not easily, but it does get better, I promise. Peace.